Hey guys, it's Beck. Haven't made a video in about a week, but I'm just gonna do a little update on myself, um, before I get into why I wanted to make this video. My semester recently changed for school, so now I have all new classes. I'm taking mostly juniors classes, even though I'm a sophomore, which is pretty cool. I got my hair cut. Been liking it. Feel like it makes me look more masculine. Yeah, I don't know, that's about it. Nothing really interesting going on right now. But I wanted to make this video to talk about bullying and discrimination that's not just transgender people, but everyone of the LGBT community, LGBTQ plus community experiences. A lot of people have been saying now that since gay marriage is legal in all 50 states, that it should have a straight pride. Now, I'm not going to go too much into it. I'm going to give my opinion on it, and I'm not going to diss other people or anything like that, or I'm going to try not to. But the way I look at it is, we, as people of the LGBTQ plus community, we have this pride in being ourselves, no matter what people and what obstacles people throw in our way. We've dealt with murders, humiliation, I don't know how many other things. Like it's just, the list goes on and on and on and on. And that's why we have that pride, to remind ourselves that we're proud of who we are. And I feel like having a straight pride would diminish that. A lot of people don't think that we as a whole get bullied a lot. But a lot of people, okay, so like people who are bisexual, a lot of them, someone in my family even, okay, they get bullied and saying that, you know, they can't just pick who they're gonna love, or they're just wanted a label for being a whore or something like that. Like, that's totally uncalled for. I mean, like, you can't tell a person that they can only like one gender. That's like telling someone of the transgender community that they can only be the gender that they were assigned at birth, which, from my own personal experience, I would not be happy if someone told me that. People have told me that, and it didn't make me happy. I mean, I have always known I'm a boy, and I'm not going to change that for anyone. So why do you think that you have the right to tell me I'm a girl just because of my genitals? Like, that's not cool. It's just, it's a lot of things that people don't take into consideration. Like, transgender people, I'm sorry if I look extremely exhausted, I just woke up. Transgender people, for example, a lot of people think that it's all flowers and it's glorified and everything like that. But a lot of people can tell you that it's very stressful, it's very hard. You wake up every day and you cannot love yourself as much as you want to because you're not in the right body that you know you're supposed to be in. There's just so many things into it that people don't take into consideration. They just say that we're doing it for attention, which I think is ridiculous. Like, someone who self-harms. While, yes, there are people that do it for attention, a lot of people do it because they just want to feel something. And not a lot of people understand that. So they immediately say, oh, you're just doing it for attention. And that diminishes their feelings and their emotions on it. And it's a whole chain of things. Like, no matter if you're homophobic or transphobic or you're a 100% ally in everything that's going on, you shouldn't say something just to hurt another person. While they may have said something to hurt you, while this one person told me that I'm always going to be a girl in their eyes, that doesn't mean that it gives me the right to retaliate back and say something even worse to them. The bullying and discrimination starts somewhere, and the reason it hasn't ended is because people don't know how to retaliate the right way. And yes, there's always going to be those assholes that, no matter what, are just going to be like, no, blah 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 blah. And I mean, we can't help them. They're closed-minded, and hopefully, eventually, they'll come around. But a lot of people say things to hurt other people just because you did something to hurt them. And I'm not saying that's always the case, but a lot of the time that is. And it's a cycle. And you just keep going. And it's gotta stop somewhere. Because the suicide rate for teenagers in general is way too high. And then the suicide rate for LGBTQ plus teenagers is way too high. And then just taking the fact, like, transgender teenagers, that's ridiculous. Like, I understand that not a lot of people may understand, but that's why we have things like the internet. You can look things up, you can ask questions. Even if you are the most Christian family ever, you can still look things up. You may not agree with it, but learning and educating yourself is always better than taking your child out into the world when they're only 14, 15, 16 years old, or locking them in a room without anything, without any contact to the world, or something worse than that. That's my 2 cents on the subject. It's a tough world out there, but that doesn't mean you should ever stop being yourself, and that doesn't mean you should ever stop being who you know you're supposed to be. No matter what people throw in your way, no matter what people say to you, you are you. Don't let anyone else tell you different. Love you guys.